We are at Dix Creek Gap and met a through hiker of 217. I'm gonna get a little information from him. Give us your trail name.
Treehouse.
Treehouse, where you from?
I live in Florida.
And when did you start the trail this year?
February 9th we actually started.
Yeah, you and a buddy of yours that I'll get here in just a minute. And where did you say you're from?
Florida, Ocala, Florida.
Florida.
Yes.
A little different terrain out here.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you're kind of used to it. You've been hiking a good while. This isn't your first hike. Before you've told me a little bit about your life, you've done quite a bit of exciting stuff. And what has anything surprised you about the trail so far?
Surprised? Not really. Honestly, I originally grew up in Western Pennsylvania, so I've hiked in the Appalachians before. But it's very nostalgic, basically. To bring back a little bit of childhood memories. So, you know, I'm digging it so far.
And you said you're not on a time schedule?
No time schedule.
Said you'd be tickled to death if you make it September. It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, y'all guys are really cool, and I look forward to watching for y'all, and hopefully you'll send me an email or something, and we'll get your finish date later down the trail. And hopefully if you see the white truck that has the camper that doesn't fit, make sure you flag us down.
Absolutely.
Have a great hike, man.
Thanks, Jimmy.
On the trail again, and we've got another hiker here. We met him yesterday evening at McDonald's in Hiwatsee. Give me your name.
Piney?
Piney, and how did you get that name?
Oh, I was hugging a pine tree down at the top of Bright Angel Trail in the Grand Canyon.
That's a cool deal. And I noticed you had to put your tie on because this is a formal event.
Yes, this is a formal event. You know, I usually don't work on the weekends, but I guess I'm going to go to work on a Saturday. Maybe I'll take tomorrow off.
Good deal. You told me when I asked you how quick you want to get the trail done, you said you didn't have a time frame.
If it were up to me, I'd be out here for 8 months.
Hey, good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal, because y'all hike. I mean, you're capable of hiking real fast because you've done the PCT.
Yes, sir.
You did the PCT in 215.
215.
And then give us some more information about that.
Well, that was my first long trail. I think it's an amazing trail. Just amazing. Went back out in 16 last year, redid the Muir Trail, did the Wonderland Trail. It was just, the West Coast is just great. Really good hiking, but I think out here's got some really good hiking too.
Yeah, and I'm not going to ask you to do the whole story, but it's a really neat story of how you ended up on the AT this year. We might save that to the next interview when I catch you up a little bit further up north.
Oh, yeah, that's a long story.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see y'all further and get to meet y'all more. But it's been a great experience for us to sit down and talk to y'all yesterday and this morning, and look forward to your, hearing about where you are. And I know you know a lot of the hikers that hike with my wife, I believe.
Sure.
So it's been a good time for her to reminisce with you. And
it's been a great time for me too.
Yeah.
Really good time for me. My spirits were probably a little bit down when I got to the road yesterday, and meeting you two has definitely raised my spirit.
Well, I was going to ask you that because when I met y'all at Hiwatsee, the first thing y'all kind of told me is what's toughest out here is the hitching.
Yep.
And I'm still surprised. How long did it take you to hitch from here yesterday?
We were probably on the road for a good hour.
And were you walking or did you stay here?
We stayed here for about 10 minutes, and we walked down to the hostel, and then we walked a little bit past the hostel. Was there for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Before getting picked up to go in Hiwatsee.
Okay.
But,
well, I hope from now on you won't have that bad of a deal. You started a little early in February.
A little early, yeah.
If you'd have started in March, you'd have probably got a hitch in 5 minutes.
Yeah, easy.
And especially if there were some young girls going by.
Yeah, I got to find me one now. Get a hitching partner.
Okay, Piney, good luck for your trip, and we look forward to seeing you later.
Jimmy.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Jimmy out at Fontana Dam. I'm waiting on some hikers to cross the dam, and then I'm going to video one of them again. But that's the fire tower, I think, way up there. I can't really see in my viewfinder, but I think that's the fire tower that you have to hike to once you get into the Smokies. And the lake is real low. It's down a lot, and I'm going to try to film a little bit of the lake and show you the lake. It's a little windy up here. In fact, over there it looks like it's not an island. Before the water is to the right of that little island and it makes an island. Now you actually could walk out there to it. There's a couple of hikers that's coming across the dam. I'm going to just kind of walk their way and see if I can keep this kind of focused. I may cut it off and film them again. But it's a beautiful day for them to go through the Smokies. Fresh ground is coming with these other two guys that are hiking now, and it's going to get cold tonight. They're talking about 21 degrees, I think, in Bryson City. And that's pretty cold, and they're going into the Smokies. But at least the moisture's left. There's no more rain. The sun has come out, so really not that bad. No water coming out across the dam. And again, you can see that it's low. It's not as low as you would think it might be, because if you're looking at the banks and you're seeing how low it really looks, this is normal this time of the year, and then it usually fills up in the spring and all, a lot of it, but it hasn't filled up in a long time. I'm gonna catch these two guys coming to me and see what's going on with them and let them walk on by. They've got another mile to go to get to the Smokies. How's it going, guys?
Doing good.
Day, doing good.
Nice day. Sunshine.
Well, listen, I hadn't even talked to you yet. I hadn't got you on camera, and let me get out of the sun where I can get you. You're looking in the sun now.
I think the left-hand side is my best side.
Okay, give us your name and your trail name.
My trail name is Fescue. My name is Steve Bruton.
Where are you from, Steve?
I'm a native Texan, grew up in Oklahoma.
Okay. Now, you told me you are finishing your through hike from last year. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm flip-flopping all over the place. I started in Pawling, New York, went to Maine, and then from Maine back to Pawling. Then I finished all the way to Waynesboro. Then I went and visited my daughter, and then I went from there to Hot Springs, from Damascus to Hot Springs, and then got off the trail because of fire, and then during that time my travels down. I went 6 weeks off the trail to help my mom. So starting in June and then finishing in December 1st. Now I'm back to finish the Hot Springs, and then Damascus to Waynesboro. Then I'm done.
Okay, so I understand a little more now. You're doing it in the 12 months period, over a 12-month period, or?
Well, I intended to do it just straight through without stopping, but
right.
then things happened, and then the fires, and then,
Right.
So then I went home to Hawaii on the Big Island for 2 months, and I've come back, and so I have till June 3rd to finish the calendar year hike.
Yeah, that's great. That makes the through hike. They don't care when you do it, as long as it's in 12 months period.
Yes.
That's fantastic. You're getting ready to go into Smoky Mountains. What do you think about that?
I'm ready.
It's going to be 21 tonight, I think they said.
Yeah.
And that's the tower up there. I just filmed it at the very top is where y'all got to go to. You see the little one with, that peak right there, that's the fire tower. So that's the, and you'll look on your guide, I think y'all going past that if you're going to the campsite or Molly's Ridge. Yeah, Birch Spring or something,
Great.
I think is after
Well,
that.
we're going to make as much use of the sun as possible because of the showers tomorrow, yeah?
A gorgeous day. That's right there. There are some showers in the forecast. Now that you remind me, I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
You look like you're doing good today.
Doing awesome
We talked
today.
to you the other day. Anything changed since we've seen you?
Just hung out with Fresh Guy a little bit. Got to talk, and it was nice to hang out with him today.
And you got to stay in that hostel?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a big had pizza, even though Fescue and this other guy took pieces of pizza from me. I was all right.
Okay, well, I'm going to let y'all get on to the end of the trail. I'm going to walk with y'all and then talk to us back down there. Bye-bye. I'm back out here on the trail in 217 trying to find hikers and ran into these two fellas. Give me your trail name if you got one and where you're from.
This is Ox, and I'm Papa C.
Papa C and Ox.
Yes, sir.
I noticed you've got a pretty good tool.
It's called a Pulaski.
And turn around now, I saw something sticking out of yours. It looks like a chainsaw.
Yes.
Okay, y'all, somebody's got to explain to me what's going on.
So we're out here doing trail maintenance on the Appalachian Trail. We're at Stokoa Gap. Today's project, we're going to go cut some locust logs to do some repair on a section called Jacob's Ladder, which is about 2 miles up from this road crossing right here.
Okay, and how long you been doing this?
Ox has been what, near 20 years?
20 years.
20 years.
I'm about 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
Man, when my wife through hiked in 214, I saw so many of the maintainers, and the hikers are more y'all probably know, but they really, really are appreciative. I mean, it's because of what y'all do that makes this trail hikeable as easy as it is. Y'all probably met thousands of hikers yourself.
Yes.
And are you from around here, or how far did you have to drive?
We're from the Knoxville area, so it's about an hour and a half to drive over here.
You drove an hour and a half. And how many days a month are you out here doing this, or?
It varies. The club, with the Smoky Mountain Hiking Club, they ask maintainers to come out 4 times a year, and some of us are out a little bit more than that. So Greg and I probably average 2 to 3 times a month.
Now, how long will y'all be out today?
Just for the day.
Just all day?
Yeah,
All day. So you pack a lunch in? And
Yeah.
Yes.
when you're out there doing that, I was curious when I saw maintainers before, what kind of food do you eat when you're out here maintaining?
I bring packs of tuna fish and crackers.
Just like the
and
hiker.
then some packs of crackers.
Okay.
Good protein out of the tuna fish.
Yeah,
some
and you?
fats.
Same thing.
Same thing?
Basically, we have the same lunches that a backpacker would have, because we have to carry it in our backpacks the same way.
How did you get interested in becoming a maintainer?
We both through hiked. I did my through hike in 1997, became a maintainer.
And you did yours when?
2000.
2000.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tell me the difference, guys, of how you see it today than when you did it then.
In reference to?
In reference to technology, for one thing. You didn't have cell phones
No.
like they've got today.
You relied a lot on the register.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got into towns, you'd often run into hikers that you'd hiked with, or, hey, so-and-so got off the trail. But now with technology, it's
Right.
just a
What
send
about
button away.
what about the numbers of people that were around you during your through hike?
Yeah, the crowds have gotten a lot more.
Right.
The year I hiked, I think there were about 400 hikers that were out for the year.
Right.
Last year, they said there were almost 6,000.
6,000, yeah, last year.
And they're saying the numbers planning on being up another 6 to 8% again this year.
Right, and you said the year you did it, the car was going by about 400?
About 400, yeah.
Yeah. What was the hardest thing about it when you through hiked? Now that you're looking back.
The mental persistence.
Okay. And you?
Same thing.
Same thing. Was it a life-changing event?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it brought me out here. It gets in your blood.
Yeah.
And you've seen other people maintain. I wish I would have got started earlier, but I did when I did. But it just gets in your blood. I mean.
Now, when you said you wished you had started earlier, are you meaning earlier in life or earlier in the season?
Life.
In life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wife sitting in the truck turned 62 on her through hike.
I'll be 63 May 1st.
But you did your through hike at what age?
At 43.
Yeah. And you?
I was 32.
You were 32. And life-changing experience for you too?
Yeah, I think anybody that walks all the way to Maine has a life-changing experience along the way.
I do too. Now, what time of the year did y'all summit? Did you summit?
I summited on September 28th.
She did September 25th.
We were southbound. We did June 29th.
June. When did you start?
June 29th.
Oh, when did you summit?
On June 29th,
I know.
Katahdin.
When did you start your hike?
June 29th in Maine. I came south.
You came south and you started in June.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Now, being out here, is this the only place you go in at to maintain the section you're doing?
No, we have 30 miles of the National Forest, which is associated with the Smoky Mountain Hiking Club, and it's from the Nantahala Outdoor Center to Fontana Dam.
Fontana. Okay. Now, what exactly are you doing on the section today?
So we're gonna cut locust logs to be used for steps and water bars on the section up at Jacob's Ladder.
You know, it's really interesting. I've met you guys because 4 days ago I was here helping hikers, and I helped them across here, not slack packed them, but I met them here and I met them at the next road. One of the hikers came out. You may find this interesting. He said, "You know what? Those guys that were building Jacob's Ladder," he said, or something about the trail. He said, they did this, and I know that ain't Jacob's Ladder. He said, and then all of a sudden they said, "To heck with this, the switchbacks, we're going straight up." Yeah. And he laughed about it, and I said, "Yeah, you better thank those guys that are putting those steps and all out there, because it'd be a lot different."
And that's one of the changes in here.
Yeah.
When the trail was originally built, it was on ridge lines and property lines.
Right.
which normally went straight up and down the ridges.
Right.
But now that we've got 4 service lands and the trail's moved over, we can put in relocations and switchbacks. So there's some sections that are still original trail out here, and Jacob's Ladder is one of those. So it goes straight up the spine of the ridge. And then there are other places here south of Stokoe Gap where relocations have been put in where it's nice gradual. The goal is to eventually have all of it in nice switchback maintainable sections. There's places like Jacob's Ladder, as we put more steps in, the logs will last 25 or 30 years, but then they've got to be replaced again. So it's just this perpetual maintenance thing that we have to keep worrying about.
Well, guys, thank y'all so much for what you do, and I mean, you're the guys that keep this going, and without you, this trail would not be what it is. And me personally, just want to thank you, and especially for my wife, having hiked on it, and I've hiked on some of it. But God bless everything you do, and hope you have a fantastic day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.